So, good morning, everybody. So happy to have you on the Zoom today. First and foremost, I'm grateful for all of you. We were just talking about that. And I have the amazing privilege of having a daughter who is studying all sorts of things with regards to the power of um, gratitude and the power of mindfulness and the power of um, affirmations and the power of how this statistically is helping people not only in the workforce but also in education. And because I get a full view of that on a daily basis and conversations every day with her research, I more and more get excited about the fact that we have been building this into our life on a daily basis. And so we talk a lot about the I am and the power of the I am. And that is basically talking to yourself who you are, what you want to be, and why it's important to do affirmations. And I was never really a believer in that kind of stuff for many, many years. I mean, it never really crossed my mind or my path or anything. And so the fact that my daughter is studying this and actually has documentation on it and actually researches it, and it's a very real thing, makes it sort of front and center in my life. And the fact that, Nerium kind of turned us onto it almost 6 years ago is another sort of validating sort of point that, wow, this is not something that really we should take lightly. That when Jeff Olson says things like, this is kind of a secret weapon in your business, it really is. So if you have the idea that it's something that you might want to practice in your life, or you are practicing in your life, I've been really looking into lots of different I've been reading a lot about a lot of people that do this and why they do it and how it works in their life. And I kind of wanted to share with you a little of that research and some of the stuff that I've been looking at. So an affirmation is an encapsulation of a whole wealth of life-affirming thoughts that remind us that we are inherently powerful and loving and that there's nothing to fear. And I love that because I think that people, and including myself, fear continually gets the best of us. We talk about wanting to share information with people because we have a financial tie to it. We would share the information very willingly if we had no financial tie, but because we have a personal connection with stuff, sometimes that gets in the way and we get fearful of it. So I love that, by feeding your brain certain affirmations, your fear factor can actually go away. It's been demonstrated that just saying, thinking, or writing positive thoughts makes us stronger every day, whether we believe the words or not. That's a big deal. If you say affirmations often enough, you will ultimately believe them. All you are doing is replacing the negativity in the mind with healthy thoughts of peace, power, and love. Read that again. These positive thoughts, which are simply replacing the negative thoughts, can be repeated while you dress, shower, and exercise, while you're sitting at your desk or taking care of your children, and of course, before you go to sleep. An affirmation is not just a sentence. It represents a way of life, a way of seeing, feeling, believing, and acting. It helps transport us from the weakest part of who we are to the most powerful part of who we are. After reading the 10 affirmations, having understood their deeper meaning, and having repeated each affirmation 10 times, you will definitely feel uplifted as the energy in your body moves in the direction of peace, power, and love. So it's really the power of the I am. And I put on here, I'm a work in progress, which I am. I think it's important to start off with your affirmations of really understanding who you are and why you do the things we do. We talk about that all the time. I put this other one down here that says, you laugh because I'm different. I laugh because you are all the same. I literally had a conversation with somebody this past weekend, and I told them what I did, on my part-time business, and they literally laughed at me. They laughed at like the whole thing. And I thought, that's so crazy. Like, I can't believe you're actually laughing at me, but it happened. So, the power of really believing in what you do and strengthening your brain to really acknowledge that, some people will laugh at you, some people won't agree with you, some people will think that you're doing something terribly wrong, and whatever is, the whole idea behind that is disciplining the discouragement or the negativity, and that's the power of your brain. So these are ways of starting out your affirmations and really clearly defining them. And they've proven that, you want to have an affirmation, you want to write out the deeper meaning of what that means to you, and then just say the affirmation 10 times a day. So, this is an example: whatever happens, I'll handle it. And the deeper meaning is, within me, I have the power to handle anything that ever happens to me. Instead of fear, I feel only faith. I know I have a huge amount of strength within me, and I will always find the good that ultimately comes from all that happens in my life. I will learn from it, grow from it, and use it as a means of reaching to the best of who I am. And every situation in my life offers me the opportunity to become a more powerful and loving human being. And so you have the deeper meaning that but then the affirmation is all you say. Whatever happens, I'll handle it. Whatever happens, I'll handle it. And so I put some examples of things that are relatable to me. The quality of my life depends only on me. So I take personal responsibility for everything that I do. I don't blame people for how I'm feeling or what I can't control. My reactions, I can choose to be a victim, or I can choose to be the creator of powerful and loving thoughts, despite what is happening in my life. And I have the strength to act and react to all situations in a healthy and life-affirming way. As I do, I watch the quality of my life getting better and better. So the affirmation is, the quality of my life depends only on me. And I think that's a significant one, because a lot of times we look to the left and we look to the right and we wonder, why aren't we moving faster? Why aren't we having the financial success we want? Why aren't our relationships better? Why aren't, our kids better? Looking to the right and the left and comparing notes to what somebody else's life looks like and not yours can be very, very detrimental. And you tend to blame other people for what's not happening in your life. And that is, again, very detrimental, because really and truthfully has nothing to do with the right or the left. It just has to do with you and what you're willing to do. So the next one I found was, I let go and I trust. So I have no control over the future. Therefore, the pathway to peace is for me to do the best in all things and let go of the outcome. So that's a big, powerful thing there, is that, it's about doing your activities the way that you feel most positive. And you really can't become emotional to the outcome. You have to just basically, get rid of your fear and move forward, and really look at, all the things that you do as the best things that you do. Take a deep breath, affirm your trust in whatever happens is for the highest good and the highest good of all concerned. Look for and find the great learning that you can from the result of your outcome. And again, that's another thing that we've talked about many times on our mastermind, is practicing. We're all practicing life. And so we're not perfect, and we're going to continually make mistakes, but we're going to be able to tweak those mistakes to better the next experience. Focus on enjoying the present with the sureness of heart that you can handle whatever happens in the future. I have nothing to fear. So again, I think a lot of what we do in life is fear-based, and I certainly, from my own personal experience, feel like these are the types of things that if we can master these things and we can get good at them and practice them, fear is really the cause of most of the inadequacies that we feel personally and professionally. I really like this one. I am powerful and I love it. As my inner sense of power grows and grows, a feeling of joy envelops in me. It makes my heart sing to know that I have so much to give and so much to embrace. With each step I take, I'm reminded of the purpose of it all, to give love, receive love, and to be a meaningful part of creating a better world. So again, when you're looking at the affirmations that you want to say to yourself, writing down the deeper meaning and understanding that is one thing, but just saying it over and over and over to yourself is really when becomes the strength and empowers you. So when it comes to success, there are no shortcuts. And I think that that's something that we all have to be real about. You know, you can always, I used to always go through this in the entertainment industry. I would start an actor out and they would come to me and they would say, you know, I would always ask them the question of, you know, tell me a little bit about why you want to be an actor or why you are an actor. And actually, some people would actually be very honest and they'd say, I just want to be famous. Well, being famous is definitely not the way to get famous. Wanting to be famous is not the way that people get famous. The people that answered the question is, I love the craft. I love what I do. I absolutely love the journey. I want to continually work on my craft forever. Those are the actors that over a long period of time would become very, very famous and consistent in their work, because it was all about the work. It was all about, you know, what they were most passionate about and how they could serve not only their passion, but the passion of other people. And I think when you can honestly see the joy in other people's lives, you actually feel that joy, and it brings you joy to feel that joy. So, you know, when it comes to success for all of us, there are no shortcuts. And I think it's very important that as we're going through this journey and we're practicing, that we realize that, you know, everybody has their own timing. It's a big deal, you guys. Everybody has their own timing. I have my own timing. You do. We're not going to have the same success. We're not going to get there at the same time. And I want to be joyful about however you get there. And I want you to be joyful about how I get there. But to compare the success of others to yourself is not really fair, because everybody does things differently, and we get better when we get better. And there are things in our life that come up in our life that we have to contend with. So I like this a lot. Try not to become a person of success, but rather to try to become a person of value. And I think it's important that whenever we are sharing who we are and what we're doing, you know, everybody likes value, and whatever that value is, and I'm not specifically talking about financial value, I'm talking about bringing value to other people. You know, people respond to that. They respond to an organic value of what they think, you know, you're talking about or you're sharing and things like that. And that's significant. So I really like that. So what I wanted to do is, I really loved listening to Jennifer yesterday, and I always love listening to everybody on this Zoom, because I love the idea of, you know, us taking our day and you know, getting out in the day and things happening in the day. So what I really would love to do here, if it's okay with you, is just for a few minutes, if you guys could unmute yourself and maybe share a success story. Share something that has happened to you maybe yesterday, the day before, or something that's really brightened your life and you've been able to have a success story. So I'm opening up to you guys.
Can I start?
Sure.
First of all, I don't know how much of a success story this is, but we'll explore it as we move through this real quickly. I had put myself on notice with everyone on this group that I was going to do a 20 BPs in 30 days run. And I did the run. And I made the calls and I followed through with a lot of the stuff, but I did not get 20 people in 30 days. I got one. And it did not discourage me, but it was a good learning lesson. And the lesson for me was I went back to my old market. What most of you may not know is I've been in this business for 3 years. And I have ultimately contacted most everybody in my warm database multiple times throughout that 3 years. And they were the people that were in my list. And so when I approached them again, it was, no, I'm really not that interested. And so they didn't even want to have a meeting with me. Not a FaceTime meeting or a meeting with Zoom or any other way. And so I tried to get contacts from them that might be interested. And a lot of them said, okay, well, I'll think about it and get back to you. So the lesson for me was, going back to your warm market over and over and over again is not always the best approach. So I started, because I'm in a new area, going to the Henderson Chamber of Commerce, meet and greets. There's a whole bunch of them. There are mixers, there are ribbon cuttings. I have 2 ribbon cuttings to go to today. And what I do in these events is just get contact information and then schedule a time to sit down and get to know people. And my intention is not to talk about Miriam, but my intention is to talk about how I can help them get leads for their business and how I can learn about their business so I can do that effectively. And they're very willing to have a conversation with me about that. And I listen very carefully, and every once in a while, someone's conversation asks what I do and what they want to know what my business is. And I've remained focused because I know I'm not trying to recruit these people. My focus is remaining on the product itself. And so I'm getting some traction with preferred customers, which I need to do anyway because a lot of mine over the 3 years have come and gone. And I've also found that there are people who have interest in the business, and I'm already bringing them to market parties and I'm having sit downs. So I have 2 ribbon cuttings today and 3 sit downs today. So I'm getting things scheduled and getting things moving forward, but it's a little bit different than the 20 and 30 that I had intended to do in the first place. But I'm feeling very good that this thing is moving forward.
You know, that's awesome, Randy. And, you know, the laws of communication are all about being a connector and helping other people. And the question is, how can I help you get business? What can I do to, you know, recommend what you do? What is it that you do? And when you have people talking about what they do and how you can help connect them, that is a powerful, powerful thing. So I am very, very glad that you shared that. Thank you very much. And I think it's awesome. You know, you're in a new neighborhood. You're in Vegas. You've never lived there before. Everybody is new. And that's an extra added reason to get out and kind of, you know, let people know who you are and find out who they are in your community. So I really applaud that. That's awesome. Thank you so much, you know, for sharing that. Who's next?
Hey, good morning. Can I go next?
Sure.
All right. Well, I've been listening, Randy, amazing story, and I've done a little something similar. I knew when I had some open time, so I looked on Eventbrite. I told Eventbrite all the different things that interest me, and lo and behold, there was a couple of interesting meetings that I could go to. So I went on Tuesday night to a networking meeting that had a lot of health practitioners in the natural healing, and there was actually an author who's a doctor, and so I was able to go around and meet all the different vendors. And then I started working on the intimate group of all the people that I could mix with while I was there associating. And I ended up with 6 different quality leads. And even though they were all healthy, their skin doesn't look like they're doing anything for anti-aging. So I really feel that Eventbrite helped me find a new place to look for something to do.
That's great. Carla, bravo for getting out of your comfort zone and getting out there and excuse me, and following that. I think that's an awesome, awesome idea. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else?
Hi,
Can I go?
Good morning, it's Susie. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Who's ever next? I'll go after you.
Oh, no worries. So, good morning, everyone. I went to a luncheon yesterday that is a professional industry for my previous occupation in tourism and hospitality. And it's a small group, and I was able to meet some new people, and there was a presentation, and then afterwards everyone is networking. And so I met a person who just retired from being the tourism official for the area here to the country of where? Austria. So I'm looking to get to know him and hopefully get some introductions and contacts for Austria. And then I also met a gal who works and she works for Alaska Airlines, and I gave her my Nerium card, and there, you know, everyone there is thinking I work for a hotel or something because that's the type of people who go there. But she goes, oh, I use this product. She goes, I buy it from Amazon. And I said, oh, please don't get things off of Amazon. You don't know what you're getting with that product. It could be sitting in somebody's garage for 2 years. So very excited. And I also got cards from other people that I hope to, as Randy's doing, make connections. And, you know, you can't always introduce yourself with hitting them over the head with I sell this stuff. So I'm looking to expand my network because I'm new in the Southern California area as well. So good day.
This is a great, thank you so much, Kimberly. You know, I love the fact that everybody is sharing stories about getting out of their comfort zone and going into new people and getting to know new people, which, by the way, you know, that is a big deal. It is a big deal to do that. And I really, really commend all of you for doing that. And I just want to touch really quickly on the Amazon because I know Michelle asked about that early on. So every single company on the planet and in relationship marketing and everything is on Amazon. It just is. And it's on, and certain people put different products on eBay and things like that. The thing about Nerium is that we get a lot of our product for free, and some people go on and try to sell it at a discount. The reality is a couple things. If you are a customer of Nerium, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. And no matter if you use the entire bottle, you get to send it back if it doesn't work for you. You don't get that with Amazon. You're doing this to be in business with your relationships. So if people are going on Amazon, what I would encourage them to do is understand that they really don't know what they're getting in the bottle. The bottle is, you have the ability to take out whatever you want and put whatever you want in there. And a lot of people have gotten duped by thinking that they're buying this product for less, but the reality is they're not getting this product at all. And so I really urge people to educate their friends that are going on Amazon thinking that they're getting this, you know, amazing Nerium product, because people do things to make money all the time. And so if you're not getting your money back guarantee from Amazon, which you're not, you're really putting yourself in a position to be duped by the product. So I guess the education is to, if you, Michelle, are feeling a little bit difficult on that, the best thing to do is do a 3-way call with Caroline and your friend or me or anybody else, and let somebody else tell the story of why it's important not to buy your products through Amazon that are not guaranteed. Okay?
That's helpful.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. And just to second that, Annie, I had 2 brand partners in New Jersey that quit and decided they were going to order the products on Amazon so they could get it Prime and not pay shipping. And this was both a year apart. And they both called me and said, oh my God, these are not Nerium products. Can I order from you? So I would be happy to do the 3-way call because those people knew exactly what the product was. And it was not the product. So
yeah, it's a very dicey situation. So definitely use your support team to help you with that. Okay. So, Susie, I know you want to share something.
Oh, I had just a quick story. Randy, exactly what you've been doing now, I've done with 3 different businesses. I network all the time. I love people. I love to be out and hear stories. And I sit down and have a coffee and listen carefully. And last night, I was with my, backing up a minute, I'm going to a lot of Alzheimer and senior specialist meetings because we have EHT. And I have to share what this product has done for Patrice Jamgoshian's dad and thousands of other people now too. But so I'm meeting a lot of people in their late 60s, 70s. And one of my new band partners were in her 70s. And she is the most vivacious, lovely, excited person you ever want to know. And last night we did an RRP with people that are in their 70s, late 60s, retired. And guess what, guys? They're looking for something to do. This was a realtor of 40 years, one of them. Another one had been in insurance for 40 years, and they're retired. They're excited, but they said, you know what? I would love to do something to impact people. So we have a new brand partner as of last night. I'm 100% sure she'll sign up in a couple of days. She had already tried the product. She said, oh, yeah, I know this product. But as we talked, I said, well, who could you help? I know you love people and you want to help. And she was like, oh, my gosh. I could do this, couldn't I? And I said, uh-huh. So is this opening? I'm trying to get in my gate, sorry. So anyway, it's just there's so many different people looking for something, and you'd be surprised. So don't count anybody out, and listen to what they're saying, and then see how we can maybe fill what their need is.
Susie, I always love it when you share that, because I know how every single day it's like your job is you get up very early in the morning and you're out in your car. I can already see on your way to your day job, which is actually just seeing people and networking with people, and you do it all day long, and you do it really, really brilliantly. So I really love it when you share your story, because I think, even myself, I have trouble sometimes, and I've made a concerted effort that every single day this week I have planned out sit-downs with everybody. And they're not all about, Nerium. They're about connecting and how to be a better connector. And so I really love when you kind of share those stories, and I'm really excited for you. Okay, Susan Harris, you have a good one to share.
Hi. Okay, really quick. So I took into account your Fortune 14 on Sunday, which I absolutely love. And so I just was really intentional about my week and planned out my 2 a day for the next 7 days. And by Monday, and of course I had my follow-up. So I really Sunday night really planned the week. Imagine that. And by Monday, I had 4 sit-downs scheduled for the week, which was amazing. And so one of the sit-downs was someone that I've exposed before. So, yes, I agree with, you got to do a little bit of everything, right? There's no like, oh, I'm just going to go find new people, or I'm just going to continue to go back to my warm market. I think you just have to keep doing both all the time. And so this was someone I had exposed like 2 years ago. And, I don't know, maybe they tried the product. It really never went anywhere, but I just wanted to reconnect with her, and I really wanted her to try the eye patches. And so we had lunch yesterday, and what came of it was she was at a point, I mean, life changes, things change, which is why we have to continually follow up and reconnect with people. And in a million years, I remember going to the lunch thinking, well, she's not someone that, would really be interested in the business, And sure enough, we're just talking. She's telling me what's happening with her and how she really wants more flexibility. She wants to be around more for her daughter. And God, she told me, she goes, I'd love to be able to work from home. And so I just said, I go, well, why don't you join me in what I'm doing? And she's like, I'd love to. Okay. And she's been stalking me on Facebook, and I didn't know because she never likes my things. And I said, like my things, so I know you're there, So I'm just saying, you just never, ever know. And so just keep doing everything. But I think more than anything, Annie, I love your Fortune 400. That's my new thing. I am just preaching that.
Well, Susan, I really appreciate you saying that. And, a long time ago when I was in New Jersey and I rolled that out, it was really funny because some people actually ran with it. And I don't know the people on my team who ran with it, but some people that ran with it she's a 3-star trying to go to 5-star, and she always talks about it in her training, right, Robin? And so her name is Samantha Wyatt, and she loved the Fortune 14 for the very reason that you're talking about, and I do too, because you start your week knowing that you're at least going to do your 2 a day, and your follow-ups, but somehow or another, more stuff starts to happen. And it doesn't have to be called a Fortune 14 for you to kind of plan your week before your week begins, because that's what we've been taught by, David Bird and many people that talk about having a system of, planning your life and things like that. So I really appreciate that, Susan. And I love the fact that, again, everything is resonating with get out, get with people, talk with people, find out how you can be a connector, share from your heart, and that's what we're doing. And that's why this mastermind is so great. So the best thing that we could do is to help the people on our team do the same thing. And the best thing that we could do is to keep doing what we're doing and to help other people that we're working with get to that point, practice that, give them the opportunity to maybe shadow you, go with you, show them how to do it. So I really appreciate all your input today. Tomorrow, because Saturday is the 23rd, tomorrow we're going to talk about inventory. And I really, really want you guys to come with either questions or with, whatever you're looking for in terms of inventory. Inventory is a very, very, it's a very important thing in any business. So that's why I always talk about it right before the 23rd. And so we're going to talk about that tomorrow, and have an awesome day, you guys. Thank you so much for all your input. I loved your stories today. Appreciate each and every one of you. Talk to you later.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Annie.
Annie.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
That was fabulous, Annie. Love you. Bye-bye.
Great call, guys. Thanks so much, Annie.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.